We got some breaking news, which means we're going live here at the Recap from the Recap Studios. David Kaplan, Ryan McGuffey with you, and the Chicago Bears, as we're sitting here putting together the news of the rush hour that we're about to put out and about to do our day, 15 of the Bears head coaching search recap. Everything gets completely squashed because we find out from Adam Schefter, Brad Biggs, and others now that the Bears have gone big game hunting and landed the biggest fish in the pond. The hottest name, we'll see if he's the right name, Ben Johnson is the head coach of the Chicago Bears.
Yes, the Bears set their sights high, and I had him in my top 3. He was not number 1 on my list, but he obviously was number 1 on most everybody else's list. I liked McCarthy, Monken, and Johnson. And guess what? They set their sights on the guy they feel can reach Caleb Williams, and they got him. And give them all the credit in the world. They interviewed 19 different candidates. They had opportunities on Mike McCarthy and Monken and a whole bunch of others, and they went, nope. He got eliminated Saturday. He decompressed on Sunday, as someone close to him told me yesterday, and now he's ready to rock and roll, and negotiations ramped up this morning, and it's done. And he is the new head coach, reportedly going to bring Dennis Allen, the former Saints head coach, with him as his DC. So you get a former head coach who's gone through, some tough times, and we'll see what they do for an OC, but the OC won't be coming in as a play caller because Ben will be his own play caller. So the Bears get their version of Matt LaFleur, Sean McVay, Kevin O'Connell. That type of coach is now patrolling the sidelines in Chicago. Tip your cap to them, man. They got it done.
Hey, look, I said I love the idea in terms of creativity, in terms of what he did to that Detroit Lions offense, second to none. That guy had his offense running laps around most teams in the league. I didn't love his play calling in the second half on Saturday. I don't want to sit there and I'm not going to scrutinize Saturday night's game. When you look at the whole enchilada, it's pretty damn good. I don't know what Ben Johnson's like in front of a room, but I like that he's going out and hiring former head coaches to be coordinators. I love the Dennis Allen hire. Put as many smart people around you. Don't be intimidated by guys who have done the job before. Bring them all together and form the toughest band on the block. That's what I love about the Detroit Lions coaching staff. I've said it forever. When I see Mark Brunell sitting next to Jared Goff on Saturday night, and I'm like, damn, like you keep forgetting that Antoine Randall is like a bunch of dudes. Get a bunch of dudes. Get a bunch of dudes. It's the guy that your quarterback wanted. We know he got catfished last week from some fan saying that Ben Johnson's the head coach, and we saw the reaction. He was on the St. Brown podcast talking about it. Now it's no more catfishing. Caleb, you got your guy. The Bears could be the Commanders next year. That's how quick it could turn around in the NFL. That quick with the right people. The right ownership.
Got to fix your offensive line.
You got to fix it all.
Your defensive line.
This to me is a huge signal and sign from ownership too, because the pot that you're committing to Ben Johnson, I'm guessing, is larger than most first-time head coaches.
I'm guessing it's 5 years and $60 million, something like that. We've never seen the Chicago Bears do this ever.
Yeah, and the comments coming in here, everyone's jacked. We are back. I dreamed of times like this. Then you get somebody like the Chicago defense saying, horrible hire, I give up. But most of them are like Peters and Renee and everybody else saying I'm happy about this move. We're getting a lot of this right here. I'm here to stir the pot. Thomas is a pot stirrer. Bear down. We're getting a lot of let's go. I hope that 3 or 4 years from now, we're not sitting here going, damn, the next one, like here was the next hot coordinator. I'm okay saying
right. I don't want him to be Adam Gase
or Matt Nagy I'm okay with people pushing back on this, but you can't scrutinize one thing about the Bears. Every single team, Tom Brady wanted this guy. The GOAT wanted Ben Johnson. They were lining up their entire organization to line up and pair with Ben Johnson. The Raiders don't have what the Bears have. And for all you people who are hating on Caleb Williams, the hottest name for 2 years,
picked him
in the division for 2 years. Last year, he knew the Bears were going to be the number 1 pick, and he's like this, sniffing. go, man, I hope that's available. Man, I hope that wasn't available. And now he got to see for an entire season as this ship was sinking and hitting icebergs every Sunday that the guy lining up under center every day and throwing dimes and having to deal with multiple coordinators was the guy he wanted to pair with in the division, Caleb Williams. So for all the Caleb haters and doubters, now now to me, I'm truly putting on my microscope on Caleb Williams. The work, what it takes, being the first in the building, the commitment, learning the offense, audible, checking out of plays, the right plays, getting rid of the football. That's who Ben Johnson is. That cannot be debated. Whether or not how he does it for the other 53 guys in the room, we'll see. But I kind of like that he's bringing in Dennis Allen saying the defense, those are your keys.
Yeah, it's not done yet, but Schefter said sources are telling him that's moving down the road. So I assume that will get done. Again, full disclosure, I made a New Year's resolution that I am not going to get out over my skis and predict greatness for our teams until they deserve it. Did they get the number one candidate? 1,000% they did. Did they get a guy who's won a Super Bowl before? No. He hasn't. So prove to us now that you're worthy of the whatever you're getting, 50, 60, 70 million dollars. I think it's super cool. I give Ryan Poles and the Bears, and you know I'm hard on them. I give them all the credit in the world. They got it done.
I want to make a comment about Ryan Poles here in a second, but I have to make a comment about Boxer's comment here. A lot of comments. 9:50 p.m. in Bosnia. And this is the best news I've heard all day. Greetings to all Bears friends from Bosnia, Cap. Love it. The Boxer checking in. In terms of Ryan Poles, we heard so much that Ben Johnson didn't want to come here and pair up with Ryan Poles, and he's going to oust Ryan Poles, and Ryan Poles doesn't want Ben Johnson. Clearly, those narratives, I give Ryan Poles a lot of credit. I do, because he's putting his career on the line right here too. He had an opportunity. He has Caleb Williams. He needs to address both sides of the defense and offensive line, but he went out with his ass on the line and got the hottest name out there. He didn't go retread or safe. You guys, I was kind of lining up for Mike McCarthy, which I would have been fine with. We wouldn't have seen all the comments in here from the 1,300 that are in this room right now saying, let's effing go, let's go, I'm dreaming, pinch me. We wouldn't have all that with Mike McCarthy, Cap. But today, Ryan Poles is the smartest man in football. Today. And now it's time to put it all together to see what exactly the Bears can do with maybe the brightest offensive mind in the game, with one of the young rising stars of the game. And can they build a team together? We'll see.
And the tweet just now from Jordan Schultz said that he is assembling a star-studded coaching staff.
That's what has me jacked up.
I mean, let's go.
Like, could you, like, who's, I don't know here. Jordan Schultz, as I mentioned last week, never a point when the Raiders were the front runners for Ben. They had an interview that went really well, but Chicago was the early favorite in the process, and it was finalized today. So even guys like you and I who were thinking maybe Ben Johnson's taking a back seat, Ben Johnson had this job. He was zeroing in on this job as far back as a year ago.
Correct.
And it just wasn't available. And good for Ben Johnson. And maybe the Bears are down to 40-1 to win the Super Bowl next year all the way.
Oh, God.
That tells you, okay, but that tells you about the excitement of the league. Even the whole league is sitting there going, oh, my God, maybe this is the next Jaden Daniels Commanders type situation, taking coaches and pairing them together. I'm curious to see who the OC is, if it's going to be some like hot passing game coordinator, hot quarterbacks coach.
Does he bring Antoine Randall L home?
Does he bring Randall L? Does he bring Mark Brunell? Does he bring the offensive line coach, which there's been some Hank Fraley.
Right, and bring him as his OC.
Like, so just so you guys know how it works, you can't bring a coach over from another staff that's under contract
unless he gets a promotion.
Job. It needs to be a promotion. Assistant head coach, from quarterbacks coach to OC, passing game coordinator to OC. You can't just pluck somebody else's OC and make him your OC. That's not how it works unless he's not under contract.
Correct.
So this is star. This is what I wanted if they were going first time head coach. Here's why I was afraid of a Ben Johnson hire. I was afraid of a Ben Johnson hire and then a bunch of cheaper assistant coaches.
Correct.
Guys who are afraid of people smarter than them in their room, which we know was an issue with Cliff Kingsbury. We know that the Bears had a chance to hire Cliff Kingsbury, but their head coach was scared he might be a bigger personality.
Right, Eberflus.
That window, which has no pulse, had a bigger personality than Matt Eberflus.
Correct.
At least from what we're seeing, and there's stuff's coming out on the fly. At least from what we're seeing, Ben Johnson knew he was wanted, and he was out there in the league going, let's get you, let's get you, let's get you. Maybe Dennis Allen gets another job. This is all the stuff we've talked about in the past. All the stuff we've talked about in the past of, well, what if they take our offensive coordinator? What if they take our defensive coordinator?
Who cares? When they named the last assistant we lost, we went, oh, God.
Hey, if that happens, that means shit's going well here.
Yeah, you're winning.
That means the best things are happening in Chicago. That's what happened. Now, think about today if you're a Lions fan. You are devastated. Like, it's been 48 hours, and you're still trying to go, wait, it's real. We thought the best thing that's ever happened to us, and I love, Cap and I both wanted Dan Campbell in the Super Bowl. Yeah. We did. I was all in on Lions Bills.
Same here.
I wanted Dan Campbell. But now think about today, if you're a Lions guy. The number one seed is out. You've just lost the hottest offensive coordinator in football, and you're going to lose your defensive coordinator too. Mm-hmm. So now, but this can't be something Dan Campbell worries about, because I think they have plenty of guys on their staff that'll be fine. Maybe they'll elevate Antoine Randall. We'll see. But now the Lions have more questions in your division than answers at the time. They're still a great football team. They're going to be really good next year. But all of a sudden, that's how quick the stories, the narratives, the teams in the division can change, Cap, in the NFL. It's not a 3-4 year plan for Ben Johnson. It's not. That's not how the NFL works. If they're not winning in year 3 or 4, everyone's gone and we're doing this all over again.
Correct.
This could be turned and flipped like that if Ryan Poles is this committed, and it's clear he is. If now he goes out and builds the best roster, they have a ton of salary cap space. I don't care.
Ton of draft capital.
And they should use every flipping one on guys that weigh 280 or more and play on both sides of the football. I don't care if he can jump out of a pool. I don't care if he's the best receiver since the receivers were invented. I don't care if he's a hot shot running back. I want as many guys in that cupboard that aren't afraid to drive that guy 4 yards off the football every time there's a snap. I want that many guys.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I'm sitting here kind of shocked that they got it done.
I am too.
Be honest with you. And I'm the most optimistic guy in the world. I did not think they would be able to pull this off and beat the GOAT, Tom Brady, and Mark Davis, who throws around money. I'm absolutely shocked they got it done. Thrilled that they got I had him, McCarthy, him, and Monken. Those were clearly my top 3, and I think that was their top 3. But I give them credit, man. Give them all the credit in the world. They went big game hunting, and they won.
Chad Johnson, Ocho Cinco. This is it's Ocho Cinco, but you're getting this type. I saw Chase Daniel tweet. The creativity alone offensively will have Caleb playing on an elite level because the supporting cast will be used to their strengths instead of getting cardio in for 4 quarters.
Oh, gosh.
I mean, if you look at what's being said, and again, today, we can go back and we'll all hold the receipts. This thing will live on YouTube forever. Okay. We could talk about the excitement we have. We have a little cautious optimism.
I do. I made a New Year's resolution. I'm not going to get out over my skis. He's never been a head coach. I hope it's the right guy.
What I'm saying is you can't criticize a hire that everyone loves. You can't criticize a hire today that everyone league-wide loves. They are not criticizing the process for once. There was a lot of criticism that the Bears had too wide of a net. Maybe that wide of a net was just to get everyone else thinking elsewhere, something else. Like maybe, they don't know what they're looking for. They're looking for too much. And it was part of the way to throw everybody off from the start, is that they zeroed in on Ben zeroed in on the Bears, and the Bears just kept plucking. They brought in Eddie George yesterday while we're all watching great football games. They're compliant with the Rooney Rule. They had Ben Johnson's ass on a plane as soon as they could. Maybe it's right now. There's reports out there. There's a lot of you are reacting
Maybe Eddie
to.
George joins the staff.
Maybe Eddie George is on the staff. I'm saying, like, I hear star-studded staff, and we go, oh, Dennis Allen. Dennis Allen might be the 4th best coach on the team. That's where I'm excited. I want to see the staffs now. And I've criticized a lot of the staffs in Chicago when you look up and down. And if you have to start Googling like a third base coach or a quarterback's coach, because
who's that guy?
Because you don't know where he came from, instead of going, Brian Greasy, I know where he came from. Mark Brunell, I know where he came from. Antoine Randall. If that starts happening in Chicago, then I'll start to be like, especially dudes that have been in the roles before, especially dudes that aren't afraid to like Dennis Allen. Will he like another idea or another spot at a head coach? Of course. He's not getting that right now. He just got fired.
He's been fired twice. He's probably done.
He's probably done. And you know what? Maybe 4 years from now, the Bears are the best defense in football and the best offense in football, and Dennis Allen leaves. We can sit here and be like, oh, shit. And it's because either the Bears won the Super Bowl or they got knocked out in the playoffs. And God, I'd rather be sitting here talking about the Bears lost in the playoffs and we're devastated rather than 8 out of 11 seasons of 10 losses or more.
Yeah.
And finally, and I'm with you. I'm like comprehending this as we're sitting here.
I'm still shocked they got it done.
And I'm waiting for the tweet to come that was like, oh, that was Adam Schefter. But it's not. It's Adam Schefter. And all of the top dogs.
Legit.
And all of the top dogs in the NFL are hammering down. And stuff's going to keep leaking out as we're here. I mean, Adam Schefter, stuff's going to keep leaking out. We're going to get the contract. We're going to get, who the actual coordinators are. The offensive coordinator will be interesting. And if you look at everybody else now, they're pivoting. The Jets and Saints are now elbowing their way out for Aaron Glenn. He's getting hired. So the best team in the division's taking a hit today, and we are directly impacted.
Okay, so Sam Darnold, I don't know if he's any good. If he had a good year, Sam Darnold's probably leaving the Vikings. They're going to pivot to J.J. McCarthy and a veteran. Maybe Daniel Jones is the backup. He's there. Jordan Love did not have a great year.
No.
He was okay.
When the head coach is asking him to be more vocal.
Correct. That's a problem. The Lions are taking a hit, and the Bears went big game hunting and got their guy. So now, if they're going to spend this kind of money to get him, obviously they're going to spend that kind of money to get a great staff. Now go fix your roster. Maybe we're next year's Washington Commanders.
I'm going to keep calling out because we got people watching. Look, we're in France now. A new day for the Bears. We might see the offensive revolution that we've all desired since 1985. And you know what's funny, Spiritual? They didn't have a great offense in 1985. Like, maybe for the first time ever, they're just really good offensively. That's where I'm like laughing about this because it doesn't feel real that we got the hot shot name. I'm scared about the hot shot name. I am for PTSD because I just want to know. I hope he doesn't talk from the back of the room like Mark Trestman, or he's trying to do, or that he drove a Ford Tempo to the interview. I don't care. I hope he took the most expensive plane, ate that biggest steak, and come in here and threw everything on the table, literally and figuratively, and said, either you want me or you don't, because I'm going somewhere to kick your ass. If I were Ben Johnson, that's what I would have said.
Right.
And I hope that's what he told Ryan Poles. And when he got off of that Zoom, Ryan Poles looked at everybody and says, if you doubt me now, then I'll walk out of the room. That's our guy. And the second that clock goes final, whether it's a Super Bowl or they get upset along the way, we're zeroing in and hiring him. And I feel like that's what happened.
They got it done, man. Give him credit because he was not going to come cheap. Done.
Like, there's a lot. So James is saying Love played injured. But Love playing injured, James.
That does not change why the coach said he's got to be a more vocal leader. That's a problem. I mean, that's fine. Guys played injured. I mean, Bo Nix played with 3 fractures in his back. I don't think leadership was an issue in Denver. You had the head coach raving about Bo Nix taking leadership, playing with 3 fractures in his back. So Williams saying, Cap, don't get out over your skis. He's not. I would say you're not over. If anything, I would say if anything, like Cap. I've been the most reserved about Ben Johnson of anyone in town.
I agree. You have been the last guy pounding the pavement for Ben Johnson. Jeremy, we need less pouting. Are you talking about for the Bears? I think so. We all do. Yeah, we all do. The Bears are the most young and exciting team. I see 8 nationally televised games. I'm okay if the Bears are not on national TV, but this, having Ben Johnson now with Caleb Williams, Cap, is going to easily put the Bears on national TV 6, 7, 8 times for sure. Maybe not 8.
So my friend Kevin Cross, your friend Kevin Cross, just texted and said, "Is this equivalent to Jay Cutler Day?"
So am I as excited as I was the day the Bears traded for Jay Cutler? I will say
I was not a fan of that deal.
I loved it. I remember where I to me, and there are people who are skeptical. I'd say getting Caleb Williams to me was more exciting than Ben Johnson, but it's like now that we can actually put the exclamation mark at the end of Caleb Williams, it's a really good question. What do you guys think? Is this as excited as you've been? And maybe some people now are not going to show. Maybe now they're not going to admit how excited they were the day the Bears got Jay Cutler. But I'm telling you, the day the Bears got Jay Cutler was as exciting of a day for Bears fans as I can ever remember.
Yeah.
And so,
fair.
Caleb Williams liking tweets. So people are now out here. We're out here dissecting which Bears players like the fact the NFL, both Caleb Williams and DJ Moore liking the Bears have hired Ben Johnson as their head coach.
Yeah, better.
Yeah, well, yeah, because it's an easy fix. Them being gone. TSI Mike hammering down. Congrats, Bears fans. What a day. Go Irish. TSI Mike, we appreciate you, brother. We appreciate all the support that you give our channel, feeding the viewers. And if you guys want to see and follow a community tonight watching the national title game, make sure you check out TSI Mike. This is what's got so Azariah is saying Cuddy all over again. So prior to Williams, Cutler was the best Bears Cutler is the best Bears quarterback of all time.
Oh God.
What do you mean, oh God? He's
the epitome of mediocrity.
Yeah, but
52-52 career.
Keep in mind, mediocre that's what the records are here.
Jim McMahon won a Super Bowl.
Statistically, he's not the best quarterback of all time, and talent-wise either. Excellent hire, says Tar Hockey. Everyone that was looking for a head coach wanted him, and we got him. No doubt about it. See, you got people like this, and I understand OD Green here. He wanted McCarthy. Johnson's unproven. He got too cute with his play calling and cost him against Washington. I don't think Ben Johnson lost the Lions the football game. I don't love the reverse pass that he did with Jamison Williams. There's no reason for it when they should have been running the football down 10. McCarthy gives you that sense of, okay, I know what I'm getting. Johnson gives you a much higher ceiling, right?
Much higher.
Like the sky's the limit. I think McCarthy would have been a proven coach, and that's where we're at here. Laz, I'm not falling for it. Thought we were staying calm until they actually start winning. That's fine. It's like, so Laz is telling you, hey, I'm excited, but I'm not going to show it to you until now it's prove it mode. A lot of people out here in Brian's camp too. Not the first choice, but I'm a true Bears fan. I hope he's successful. Now let's hire an experienced supporting staff or supporting.
And there you go. Dennis Allen looks like could be the DC. It's not done, but Schefter saying that that's progressing. So if they get Dennis Allen, that's a proven defensive football coach.
Tell me you're a Detroit Lions fan without telling me you're a Detroit Lions fan, otherwise known as Colin, who says he's a soft excuse for a man and perfect for your joke of an organization. Sounds like some people a little bitter up there in Detroit today.
That guy's a Green Bay fan.
Oh, yeah, true. It sucks when somebody else gets something right for once. We don't know yet, B, who the OC will be. Haley's loving it, right? Oh, my God. It's got like a Will Ferrell approach to me. Gary, fair. Talk to me in September. Totally understand. Like that's I feel like there's a 50-50 here, Cap. We got people. I agree with you, Will. I agree. So there's people on both sides of the ledger, which I don't. That's what being a Bears fan is now. The scales can't be one-sided here. I don't think. That's just a lot. There's a lot of Bears fans saying, God, I hope.
I was excited when they got Matt Nagy. He was a hot name. Let's go. You got your guy. He's the number one candidate. Everyone wanted him. Now you've got to execute. Now it's on Ryan Poles, man. He's got to hit home runs in free agency, trade market, and in the draft.
Keep in mind, Matt Nagy wasn't the hot name like Ben Johnson.
Not like this, but he was a pretty hot name.
He called how many? Like 4 games, 5 games?
Correct.
Prior to that, he was not this guy.
But Adam Gase was a hot name. You had Peyton Manning coming out going, best I've ever been with. Didn't work out.
No, and he didn't. Look, I'm trying not to get too excited here because I'm more on the prove it side of things, but I'm a little shocked that the Bears went out and got the hottest name available.
I'm sitting here in shock. Did not think they'd be able to get this done.
All right, so plenty of stuff to just to reiterate. I think we all know why we're here. Ben Johnson has been not named, but the reports are that Ben Johnson is finalizing a contract today to be named the Chicago Bears' next head football
it's
coach.
From Schefter, Pelissero, Rappaport. They're all saying that it's done. Ben Johnson, the new head coach of the Chicago Bears. Keep it locked here on our channel. We'll have a Bears recap for you in a little bit. We'll get that posted up here as soon as we get more on the contract and on the staff. And then we'll also have the recap rush hour with all the other news going on in the sports world. So lock it in. Stay with us. Click that little bell so you never miss any notifications of what we've got going here. And every day at the lunch hour, listen to that guy's show. It's called the Recap Lunch Hour.
I want to bring up Alex's point here because it's fun and valid. And I have one tweet to read from the Hall of Famer Dan Pompei. Alex, can he bring Penny Sewell?
Can he bring Penny Sewell with him? No.
I can't even say it because I'm just like, oh my God. I know. It's crazy. Because like as we've continued to do this, I'm like, it doesn't feel like this is all true. One thing from Dan Pompei, the Hall of Fame, legit Hall of Famer in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. What can the Bears expect from Ben Johnson? Some things that stand out from my time around him and the Lions. Low on ego and big on analytics. He thinks creatively, will emphasize the run game and protections. Johnson will have a vision for what he wants to do exactly with Caleb Williams. My God. Like that's coming from the Hall of Fame. Low on ego. Low on ego, it's already clear to me. He's bringing in a former head coach to run his defense. You know where he learned low on ego? My thinking is
Dan Campbell. No question.
Dan Campbell, who's not afraid to let people coach players and get his message from the top down into them. At the Catman, we got a football coach in Chicago.
We got a football coach. Now go get it done. Ryan Poles, you're on the clock. Get it done, buddy.
David Kaplan, Ryan McGuffey, as Cap said, we'll have some reaction to this and more on the channel later tonight. For Cap, I'm Guff. Cap?
Take that.